Hello everyone, my name is MrHurriicane. Welcome back to the Minnesota Gophers Dynasty. On the road for the first time this year, the Gophers face the UAB Blazers. Minnesota enters 1-0 after an exciting fourth quarter comeback win over TCU last week, 26-23. Now in week 2, we'll see how Minnesota fares in their second meeting against former top recruit Aaron Higdon and the UAB Blazers. UAB will receive, and we're underway in week 2. Into the end zone, and Brandt will take a knee. Last year, Minnesota defeated UAB 9-0 in the only shutout in this series. UAB football, 3-wide shotgun, and Pierre Hawthorne back to pass. He throws complete for the first time to Trey Moore for a 6-yard completion. Aaron Higdon to Hawthorne's right, back to pass again. Hawthorne with time fires outside to Moore, shy of midfield, and it's another UAB first down. Continuing their hurry-up approach, now the first time we see Aaron Higdon this game, and he picks up 4 on his first carry. Minnesota has been in a 3-man front this entire first possession as Higdon gets some space and picks up the first down. A solid start for the Blazers. On 1st and 10, Higdon once more breaks away from Greg Kelly and continues powering as he drags Eric Lemon on his way to a gain of 12. The Gophers held Higdon in check last year. So far he's off to a strong start. 1st and 10, pressure arriving as Hawthorne throws it deep, and that was likely just a throwaway. Minnesota in their 2-4-5 nickel. 3rd down and long, Hawthorne with Kelly in his face, throws deep to the end zone for Jason Robinson. Touchdown Blazers! I thought Jason Johnson would for sure deflect this, but instead a fantastic touchdown for UAB, who get off to a very strong start after being shut out in this meeting last year. Minnesota football, they trail by 7. 3-wide formation, Tim Gallagher fakes on 1st and 10. Now rolling left under pressure, and he throws incomplete. Not much he could have done there, pretty good coverage. Back to the air on 2nd down, pressure again, but Gallagher fires down the middle, and that's complete to Marcus Williams for a first down. Gallagher was 21 of 26 in week 1. Throwing again, he throws behind Lee James, who makes a nice spinning catch for another first down. James slot right as TJ Jackson carries, and there's not much room for him. He loses 1. In his first start, Jackson had 61 rushing yards and 8 receptions. Now 3rd down and long. Pressure arriving again, and Gallagher is picked off by Hill. UAB off to a fantastic start as Hill takes it inside the 30. He wanted Marcus Williams, and if he lobs it more to the outside, he likely has him for a big gain. But Gallagher rushed it, threw a bullet pass right to Hill. Blazer football, Aaron Higdon fighting through Ricky Jack takes this first down handoff for a gain of 8. Minnesota stacking the box to stop Higdon, but it's a screen. Caught by Higdon, and Lemon can't bring him down. First down, Aaron Higdon. Minnesota once again not tackling well early. Higdon on 1st down meets Josh Mackey, and that's the best run stop for Minnesota so far. Both teams like to spread the field and run it. Higdon now on 2nd down gets 7 before a big hit by Calvin Hall. 3rd down and 4, and Minnesota uses their first timeout. The defense gets a quick breather, now 3rd down and 4. They call another screen. Hawthorne to Nate Smith, and the tackle is made, but Smith just got the first down. UAB continues. Goal to go, Higdon back in the game. Up the middle and stop shy of the end zone, but a gain of 3. 3rd down and goal. Once again, Aaron Higdon, but Big John Rice is there, and Higdon is stopped. 4th down, but the offense is staying right on the field. On 4th down, it's an option. Pitch back to Higdon. Touchdown Blazers! Against his former team, Aaron Higdon puts the Blazers up by 2 touchdowns here in the first quarter. It's been all UAB so far. The Gophers need to wake up. Minnesota begins their second possession. It's an inside handoff, and Jackson gets some space and picks up 11 yards. The Gopher defense definitely needs a rest. Now against the blitz, Gallagher hits Nick Wilkerson on the slant, who had an 80-yard touchdown last week, gain of 9. Now an option call for Minnesota, and here's Jackson shedding a tackle, but only getting 1 yard out of it. Minnesota facing a third down. They have 4 receivers on the field. Blitz is sent and Gallagher's hit. Lucky that one wasn't intercepted. And UAB's great first quarter continues. TJ Jackson could not pick up the blitzing defender. Both sides of the ball have been impressive for UAB. 2 drives and 2 touchdowns. Now their third possession is underway, and the handoff goes to Higdon, and he is swarmed quickly. Eric Lemon in on the stop for a loss of 2. Slowing down Higdon has to be their top priority. Now a screen for Aaron Higdon, and he breaks first contact again, but is quickly stopped shortly thereafter, gain of 2. Minnesota finally gets UAB in 3rd and long. Hawthorne from the pocket, lobbing sideline where it's knocked away by LaShawn Smith. Well played by the free safety, 4th down. Minnesota finally gets a stop, now 1st and 10. A double screen set up, and the pass goes to Clint Porter, and that's a 7-yard pickup. Already Gallagher is seeing a ton of pressure. Now a handoff to Jackson that doesn't go anywhere. UAB was set up for it, and it's 3rd down. Needing 4. Gallagher in the face of pressure has Lee James short, and that's a 1st down conversion. 11 passes so far for Minnesota and only 5 runs. Now another handoff to Jackson, who breaks away from contact and picks up 9. Playbook wide open now on 2nd and short. Against another blitz, Gallagher has Marcus Williams once again. Another short throw. 1st down Minnesota. Now with a split backfield, it's a triple option, and Gallagher lost the football. It's recovered by UAB. It looked like Gallagher tried to pitch it and just threw it off a Blazer defender. And that is indeed what happened. What an ugly first half for Minnesota. UAB gets another short field. Aaron Higdon on the ground, and plenty of Gopher defenders there. Just a gain of 2. And now Higdon is shaken up, it appears, so Nate Smith is now in the game. On 3rd and 4, Hawthorne to Smith, needing a block, and he's not going to get it as he's brought down by Osborne and Greg Kelly. 4th down, and they'll bring on the field goal unit. There's the news, you just saw it there. Higdon will return, just a minor elbow injury, and with this field goal, UAB now leads 17-0. Minnesota is on the wrong end of a shutout currently. 17-0 Blazers. Minnesota has turned the football over twice, and Gallagher comes back this time with a throw to Nick Wilkerson. That's good for 13. But can they start stringing these first downs together? Inside handoff, and Jackson goes down for a big loss. Well read by Kurt Cox. 2nd down and 14 for Tim Gallagher, who checks it down to Jackson, and he won't go far, maybe a gain of 4. It's another tough spot for Minnesota, 3rd down and 10. Just a 3-man rush, and Gallagher going deep this time. It's caught by Lee James. 51 yards downfield, 1st down Minnesota. This time Jackson helped pick up the rush, and James makes the catch off a great Tim Gallagher pass. Now in the red zone, Chauncey Thornton on the carry gets inside the 10, demonstrating pretty impressive power, gain of 8. Minnesota goes to a twin tight end look now. It's Thornton on 2nd down with a lane into the end zone for a Minnesota touchdown. Finally on the board, the Gophers get something going, set up by a 51-yard pass to Lee James. Minnesota has played better in the 2nd quarter. We'll see if that continues with 2:43 to go in the 1st half. Pierre Hawthorne with time, forced to check it down, and I thought that was going to be a pick 6. Somehow Trey Thomas ended up with the football, gain of 6. To a 3rd down and 4, handoff to Aaron Higdon. Minnesota did not expect that, and Higdon gets 7 and a 1st down. 2:20 left to go. Here's Higdon, and Josh Mackey lays the hammer. No gain. Robinson in motion on 3rd down, and Hawthorne throws Robinson's way, who just sat down right at the 1st down marker. Smart play, gain of 8. In Minnesota territory, they set up another screen. Here's Smith, but there's a man out there. It's Tony Hunter with great screen defense. Loss of 2. UAB backed up to 3rd and long, and they call a draw. Nate Smith gets a couple, and now it's 4th down. I'm not sure if they just thought they could catch the Gophers off guard, but it didn't work. Minnesota football, just over a minute left to go. Rush picked up, and the catch is made by Clint Porter on the dig. 19 yards. Minnesota's offense definitely improving as Gallagher's hit again, and that pass is incomplete. They have to be careful with all this pressure. Now 2nd down. Gallagher under pressure again, but wide open downfield is TJ Jackson inside the 15 and out of bounds. The zone coverage of UAB did not account for the wheel route of TJ Jackson. Minnesota back in the red zone. They go empty. It's a bubble screen for Chauncey Thornton, and he's brought down around the 5, gain of 7. 26 seconds on the clock, 2nd down, and Gallagher hits Clint Porter for a touchdown. The Gophers make it a field goal game. After UAB's fantastic start, the Gophers have responded. 14 points unanswered, set up by some big plays by the offense. After being down 17, the Gophers make it a 3-point game at the half. They've improved on both sides, and we'll see if that continues. I was shocked by Minnesota's poor start. It's not often we see them start a game like they did today. The Blazers started strong with great play from their offense and 2 turnovers which they scored 10 points off of. But Minnesota's defense stepped up and 2 big pass plays helped set up their 2 touchdowns. It's now a 17-14 game and the Gophers have the ball to begin the 3rd. Gallagher in the shotgun, a 3-wide look, and they start with a run. TJ Jackson with a pretty good start to the 2nd half. That's a gain of 9. On 2nd down and 1, now it's Chauncey Thornton who had one of the Gopher touchdowns in the 1st half, and he picks up the conversion here. Now with 4 receivers on the field, they give it back to TJ Jackson, and he's stopped near the 40-yard line after a pickup of 5 yards. Marcus Williams back on the field, 3rd down Minnesota. Pressure again, and Gallagher's hit once more, and the Blazers covered well. 4th down. UAB's defense responds nicely, and now take over with an Aaron Higdon run, but a great tackle made there by LaShawn Smith. On 3rd down, they give it to Higdon again, and there's Reggie Carter, who had the big performance last week. He stops Higdon for a loss on 3rd down. An exchange of punts to begin the 2nd half, and now Brandon Jones will return from the 20-yard line. Angling far side with Green to the 35, now the 40, spin move back to the inside, and a very solid return, giving the Gophers excellent field position. Play action on 1st down, they roll Gallagher outside the pocket, and he's going to tuck it and keep up the sideline and run out of bounds after picking up the 1st down. Offset pistol formation, and Thornton carries on 1st down, but he won't go forward. Nice job by the corner after a gain of 3. Here are the defense chants on 3rd down. From the pocket, Gallagher is intercepted by Jonathan Ortiz, and he's brought down shy of the 45. 3rd turnover on the day for Gallagher as the slant was undercut by Ortiz. UAB has scored after each of their 2 previous turnovers. Now 1st down, and Higdon drops it, and he would have likely had a 1st down. Now offset I, handoff Higdon, and Carter's there again. Minnesota's run defense has definitely stepped up. 3rd down Blazers. Against the rush, Hawthorne outside, and LaShawn Smith makes the stop, and the Gopher defense bails out that Gallagher turnover. No additional points have been scored here in the 3rd quarter as Gallagher goes back to work, and that pass is incomplete for Nick Wilkerson. Needing a play on 3rd down and 9, 6-man rush. Gallagher fits it into Marcus Williams between 2 defenders. Again, UAB got the pressure, but Gallagher threw it right on target. New set of downs, now a 4-man rush. Gallagher chased to his right. Now throwing it deep, a man is open, it's Nick Wilkerson for a big gain, 51 yards. Minnesota's 3rd big pass play to put them in the red zone. Wilkerson had to work all the way across the field. 1st and 10 Minnesota, now it's Thornton on the carry, and UAB is all over it. Loss of 1. 2 receivers left on 2nd down and 11. Gallagher with protection, throws high from Marcus Williams, but he makes the catch, and it's 3rd down and short. Wilkerson the motion man, and Thornton carries on 3rd down to move the chains as he reaches the 3-yard line. Minnesota hoping to have their first lead on the day. Thornton on 2nd and goal is shut down quickly. 3rd down Minnesota. Gophers go 5 wide empty. 4-man rush. Gallagher outside to Brandon Jones for the touchdown. The Gophers are finally on top. Gallagher is lucky he did not throw this later. That was a small window, but he hit it. The Gophers lead, but they're not the only highly rated Big Ten team currently in a tough matchup. Ohio State currently leads UMass by 7. Blazers take over. It's Higdon on first down, who has really been slowed down since the first quarter. Gain of 4. UAB on 3rd and 6. Blitz picked up. Into the outside, Hawthorne has Jason Robinson for 14 and a first down. We're now into the fourth quarter. UAB trailing by 4. Hawthorne again to Robinson, and Osborne can't bring him down. Robinson inside the Gopher 35, where he's tackled by Reggie Carter. UAB now in field goal range as Higdon goes nowhere. Tony Hunter with a fantastic stop on first down. Nate Smith in for Higdon. Hawthorne on 2nd and long, chase to his left. He lost the football and the Gophers have it. Fumble forced by Tony Hunter and the recovery by Ricky Jack. Hunter has had himself another very impressive game. The Gophers now have possession with the lead for the first time. Gallagher chased outside the pocket once again. On the move, he throws incomplete into the grass. And it's 3rd down and 11. UAB trying to quickly get the football back. Blitz picked up and Porter makes the catch on the outside and the Gophers move the chains. New set of downs and here's Jackson. Wide open lane. First down and more, and I thought he might break this all the way. Wasn't quite that open. First down anyway. Chauncey Thornton now in the game. He gets the draw and he gets a lane himself as he angles back to the inside and gets 10 yards. Gophers on the red zone fringe. 2 tight ends in the game. Gallagher off the fake, and he's intercepted once again. Kyle Bonner takes it away. The 4th turnover for Minnesota. Gallagher thought Wilkerson would stay underneath the safety, but Bonner jumps it, and that's a really unnecessary turnover for Minnesota. UAB's defense makes the big play again, and now Higdon has one of his best carries in a while. That's 9 yards. On 2nd down and 1, Higdon picks up the first and more and is brought down shy of the 40. UAB now at their own 43. Hawthorne back to the air. He lobs outside and that is picked off. It's Eric Lemon and the Gophers get it back. The talented safety turn corner comes through for Minnesota. Now can the offense take care of the football? Split backfield, now Jackson motion slot left. Thornton carries on first down but doesn't get much. Jackson didn't block very well for him. Now on 2nd down, it's a handoff as Jackson races to the outside, but UAB contains the edge. Gain of 2. James slot left on 3rd down. UAB sends the blitz. Gallagher stands tall and fires complete to Clint Porter, and he breaks the tackle on his way to the 19-yard line. That was a great throw by Gallagher under pressure. Back to the air, he dumps it off this time to Lee James, and that's going to pick up another first down. 1st and goal, Gophers. Jackson gets the call, and he's stopped at the 5-yard line. Nice tackle after a gain of 3. 3 minutes to go in the game. Now it's Thornton, and he's not going to get back to the line of scrimmage. UAB with 2 big run stops and now a big 3rd down and goal. With 4 receivers, they give it to Thornton, and he is stopped at the 2-yard line. The Gophers played it safe. Now they send out Shane Wood. Chip shot field goal is good. It's now a 7-point game as Minnesota has put their trust into their defense. Quick update on the Ohio State game as they're now tied in the 3rd quarter with UMass. Back to our matchup now. It's a 7-point game. UAB needs a touchdown. They go to a screen to Aaron Higdon. He makes the catch and gets a big block. Up the sideline across the 40. Broke a tackle on his way to a 25-yard catch and run. Already approaching midfield. First down Hawthorne. And he's sacked by Calvin Davenport. Great play by the sophomore. 1:26 left to go. 2nd and 17. Only a 2-man rush. Hawthorne buying time. And now firing down the field where Goins gets open. And UAB gets a 28-yard reception. Throw out the 2-man rushes, they're pointless. Back to the air. Hawthorne outside short. There's more. And he breaks tackles to get out of bounds after a short gain. One timeout left, third down. And it's a draw where Greg Kelly meets Nate Smith in the backfield. Loss of 4. Fourth down and 13. The Gophers can win the game right here. Here we go, 4th and long. Hawthorne throws short. Owens breaks the tackle. Now a stiff arm, and he gets the first down. Are you kidding me? John Owens moves the chains. UAB not done yet. Hawthorne again short. John Owens on the catch. Picks up 5. Clock still ticking. They get back to the line. And Hawthorne spikes the ball with 22 seconds left. 3rd and 5 for UAB. 2 receivers left. 4-man rush. Short throw again. There's Thomas. And he fights for the first down. And the clock stops. 14 seconds remain. 4-man rush. Hawthorne with time. End zone and drop by Eric Lemon. He would have ended the game. The Blazers now have 9 seconds left. 2nd down and goal. Hawthorne short to Trey Thomas. Breaks the tackle. Shoved back and tackled. And there is time for one more play. The Blazers need a touchdown. Last play of the game. Minnesota gets pressure. Hawthorne throws it short. And the game is over. Loss of 5 on the final play. And the Gophers hang on. 24-17. Another exciting win for Minnesota to begin the season, as they score 24 points unanswered to beat UAB. And let's take a look at this final play. The Gophers had great zone coverage in the end zone. Hawthorne with Tony Hunter in his face. Just threw it to the only guy who was open, but he threw it behind the line and Calvin Hall is there to make the stop. So the Gophers catch a big break there. After giving up a couple crazy plays on that possession, I didn't mean to have a play with a 2-man rush. I really don't like those at all. It had a cover 4 concept, which I wanted, but I didn't get to change anybody else's assignment, so we had a 2-man rush and a very predictable result. Overall, this was a very ugly win. We had 4 turnovers while forcing 2, and we could only get touchdowns on plays where we had a big pass play. Our touchdown drives were set up by 2 51-yard catches and a 48-yard catch by TJ Jackson. Today I got Chauncey Thornton more involved, and both running backs did a decent job, but it still wasn't quite what I wanted, as our running game has definitely struggled to begin the year. Here's a look at the top 25 polls, as there's a team missing from the top 10. We saw that Ohio State-UMass matchup. Where's Ohio State? Where'd they go? All the way down to 23, as they lost to UMass 37-31. And they get number 11 Texas next week. Also, Michigan State was number 12, and they lost against Mississippi State. Minnesota is still number 5 in the country, and next week they open their Big Ten schedule against 1-0 Maryland. Maryland had a comfortable win against UTSA in their first game, but they lost 2 important players for the season, including their star running back, Marquise Allen. We faced a couple great running backs already to begin this season. I was prepared for a third, but now they're going to their backup and their backup center as well. Maryland still has good linemen on both sides of the football, and we've seen our offensive line struggle as expected. We'll see how they do at keeping Gallagher upright in the pocket and creating more running lanes for our tailbacks. Defensively, I still feel good as our front 7 is dominant. We eventually contained Aaron Higdon and did not give up a single point after their 17-0 run to begin the game. I was impressed with the play from Eric Lemon, LaShawn Smith, Reggie Carter, and Tony Hunter. But that is it for week 2. Hope you guys enjoyed another Gopher victory. Please leave a like if you did. Comment below your thoughts on today's game. Which players impressed you? And what do you think we have to do to improve in week 3? Subscribe if you have not done so already, and I'll see you guys in our Big Ten opener next week against Maryland. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you then.